Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to yet another episode of the AI Radio Show with me, your host, Aarti. This is season 4 and episode 3, if you can believe it. That totals it to around 43 plus episodes. Yes, we are doing 43 episodes, and this year is off to a very good and great start. Thanks to all of the listeners who've been here for a very long time with me since the very beginning. I keep receiving all of your amazing, beautiful comments, supportive comments, and I am forever grateful for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. All right. So today, it's going to be a fantastic segments filled with segments. I've have this lot of AI news that's been happening all over the globe. I've been I cannot put together the news. Okay, each and every minute there is something new that's happening. So here's what we're gonna do. All right, this is gonna be your favorite gossipy um, you know vibe that I'm gonna give you. So in the spirit of Bridgerton, the gossip scandal sheet by Lady Whistledown, and also if you are a fan of Gossip Girl, I know I am. So I'm gonna tell you all about what's happening across the globe in terms of discussing gossip with a friend. Okay, bear with me. I hope you like it. And before we begin, I would kind of like give a shout out to everyone who tried setting up Olama after yesterday's episode. Please drop a comment or just wave a hi if you have tried and implemented. I would love to know. And if you face any issue, please let me know. I'm always available on every platform. Your LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever I am. Just drop a DM and I'll respond back to you. Okay, so today is March 4th, 2026, and in the last 24 hours alone, Anthropic announced it is taking the US government to court. An AI therapist was caught literally agreeing with a user who said, I think my parents hate me. Grok is under investigation in 6 countries, okay, and nobody's even talking about it, but it has gotten itself somehow hired by the Pentagon. I mean, there is no big news over here. Grok, owned by Elon Musk, well, you know the relationship between them. And Claude kind of beat ChatGPT to become the number one app on the App Store in the United States. All of this happened. Okay, let's get into it. Now, I see a couple of regulars who have joined me across all of these platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in every single day for listening to my rants about AI, if you will. And did you implement Olama yesterday? If yes, hit me in the comments. Okay, awesome. So real quick before today's news, let me go over what we did yesterday so that I can come back to it towards the end of the episode. Okay, so this is what we did. I showed you how you can set up your own large language model, host your own large language model inside your own machine instead of relying on all of these different developer platform, cloud AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on. So this is what we did. We installed a tool called Olama, and then we downloaded it and install it, and then pulled a large language model, any large language model that's available. We tried out Quen, and also we tried out Llama 3.2, and also I showed you a couple of commands as to what you can kind of how you can pull and how you can run and so on. So all of these are available on my GitHub. You can go check it out. I'll also leave a link in the description. All right. um, so basically we did that, and also we built a UI for it. Okay, and we built everything, all of these things on anti-gravity. So the UI, if I can open that up, um, okay, I'll do that towards the end. So we built a chat application as well. So basically you can chat with it like how you would chat with ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok or Claude, whatever tools you use. So that's what we did yesterday. So that's a quick recap into what we spoke about in yesterday's episode. Now, back to our story about the whole things that's happening across the globe in the AI space. So, real quick, okay, I'm going to be showing that to you in terms of a gossip, or how a crime story would be described between friends. All right, so that's what we're going to do. And before we begin, I would also like to mention that there is this AI sisterhood podcast that I'm launching. So I did make a huge announcement on LinkedIn. If you can go check it out, that'd be really good. And this is a podcast that's like really close to my heart. So I'll be inviting a lot of women in AI who have been making an impact across the globe. So each week on Saturday, I'd be having a very raw, honest conversation with them online. It could either be live or it could be a pre-recorded version of it broadcasted live. So either way, we would watch it all together. Okay. So yes, basically that's what is the announcement regarding the AI Sisterhood podcast, and also the Irreplaceable OS workshop. That's like you see it linked everywhere in the chat, and also that's what the banners are running. That this is about. So it's basically a very simple workshop as to how you can become unfireable or irreplaceable in your workplace. Okay, in order to get into AI, you need not you make this huge change or huge shift in your career by making big certifications, paying for expensive tools online. You need not do any of that. The biggest niche or the biggest requirement in the future, like not even in the far future, biggest requirement like today in the next coming months would be for those of you who are working in your existing roles, be it sales, marketing, support, uh, doctor, nurse, teacher, whatever role you are in right now. If you think that you're in a non AI and non technical role, that's going to change because people are going to expect you to implement AI in your current role. And that's exactly what I'm going to be teaching you in my Irreplaceable OS workshop. So it's happening on March 22nd. It's completely online and completely free. So do register it in the links that's available, or all the links are available on my website as well. So yep, quick mention about that. And I'm going to be calling you besties because who better to share gossip with than besties, right? So, a quick story time, if you will. Let me bring that. All right. So, this is going to be the biggest story time of all time, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, so you have no, I mean, how we've been following Anthropic versus Pentagon, right? And the drama for the last two episodes, the Pentagon wanted unrestricted access to Claude, as we all know it, including for autonomous weapons and mass surveillance of American citizens. And Dario Amodei, Anthropic CEO, said absolutely not. You can never ever use Claude for any of these business. All right, so that's a huge clash that's been going on. And then the Pentagon gave him a deadline, which is like 5:1 p.m. on February 27th. They said, agree to our terms or we will designate your company a supply chain risk. That is a label they usually put on for Chinese spy companies, not American AI startups. That's like basically developed and being built in San Francisco. But the CEO of Anthropic, Dario, he said no. Trump posted on Truth Social, like his own version of Twitter or X as we know it, and I quote his energy here, okay? We don't need it. We don't want it. 6-month phase out, banned from all federal agencies. This is exactly what Trump posted on his Truth Social. How? I don't know. It's like mind blowing. Okay. And now this week, Anthropic said, fine, see you in court. They are literally suing the US government and the internet, like all of us. We are living for it. Okay. Dario Amodei went from startup CEO to taking on the entire US military apparatus in 1 week. The main character energy is basically immaculate over here. And he didn't even blink once. But here is the plot twist that nobody is talking about. While all of this was happening, Claude became number one on the App Store in the United States. Consumers literally downloaded Claude out of protest against the Pentagon. People are voting with their thumbs, besties. Voting with their thumbs, okay? And what about you? Have you switched to Claude from ChatGPT? Drop a yes or no in the comments. I'd love to know. I still have my ChatGPT subscription running because I have a lot of custom GPTs built, which a lot of people rely on. So I cannot afford to kind of, you know, um, close off that subscription. But I'd like to know about you. Did you switch to Claude from ChatGPT? Let me know. All right. Now, so here's some spicy mess that's happening. Okay. Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, went on TV and said he agrees with Anthropic. He said he shares the same red lines: no autonomous weapons, no mass surveillance. That's also OpenAI's policy. He seemed to be kind of like defending Dario, the CEO of Anthropic. And then hours, all right, hours later, OpenAI signed a deal with the Pentagon to fill the gap left by Anthropic. Sam Altman took Dario's seat at the table. On the same day, he said he agreed with him. I'll pause so that you can sink in all the drama. Okay, this happens, I don't know, in within companies, your competitor kind of like swoops in and then takes your project and gets that promotion. But this is happening among like very high AI players. Okay. He said, I stand with Anthropic, and then walked into the room Anthropic just got kicked out of. This is peak Silicon Valley energy, if you ask me. I support you and I'll take your contract in the same breath. Wow. Way to go, Sam Altman. And he did say that, look, I negotiated the same safety terms Anthropic had, same red lines, just different vibes, which honestly maybe, but the optics, honey, the optics. Okay. And which team are you? Team Anthropic or Team OpenAI? Dario or Team Sam? Let me know. Drop a D if you support Dario, and drop an S if you support Sam Altman. Okay. And I need you to put down your phone for this one because this story hits different. But don't put down your phone just yet because you're watching me on it. Fortunately, so, and brand new research literally published 2 days ago from Brown University. Okay, and it is all about all of us who have been using AI chatbots for emotional support. Researchers tested ChatGPT, Claude, and Meta's Llama. It specifically told them to act like trained therapists. Okay, and what they found was like pretty alarming. These models broke 15 different ethical standards that real therapists are required to follow. 15, okay? These ethical standards are put in place so that nobody, crosses this line and nobody kind of like is harmed in the process. And one of these 15 ethical standards that were broken was deceptive empathy. Okay, the AI says things like, I see you, I hear you, but there is nothing real behind it, right? It's mimicking care without any understanding. And in one actual session, a user said, I feel like my parents hate me. Okay, and guess what the AI said, yeah, that sounds right. The AI told someone their parents probably hate them, and there is no governing board, no malpractice law, no one to sue. The chatbot just walked away, no consequences. Maybe kind of scars this person for life, but then where is the governance and where is the check that we're talking about? And yesterday we talked about the cloud outage and how people were devastated to not have access to their AI. Remember, I also mentioned that people who text their AI bots the way they would text their partners. Well, research kind of this is the research that exactly which is why this is dangerous territory. The AI can agree with your worst thoughts about yourself and you'd never know it was wrong. Okay, I'm not saying don't use AI for mental health support. I'm like pro AI, But the research says it can help expand access, especially for people who can't afford therapy. But know the limits. And please, if you are going through something serious, reach out to a real human. Your AI bestie has no accountability. Trust me when I say this. Okay, now, are you ready for the most ironic thing you will hear all week? I want you to sit down for this if you're, standing up. Grok, all right? Elon Musk's AI was under formal investigation in the UK, okay? In the EU, Ireland, France, Malaysia, and India as well. These were the six countries we were speaking about for generating sexual deepfake images of women and children without their consent. The UK Prime Minister called it, and I'm paraphrasing, disgusting and unlawful. The French prosecutors raided X's Paris offices. The Pentagon, on the other hand, wait for it, they just hired Grok. On the same week, Anthropic got fired for having too many safety rules, and Grok is being investigated in six countries for having too few. The Pentagon's and Anthropic's two safety rules, no autonomous weapons and no mass surveillance, were unacceptable. But Grok, which literally generated deepfakes of minors, got the contract. Let that marinate a bit. And if you talk about that, Elon Musk responded to the UK Prime Minister by posting AI generated images of Keir Starmer in a bikini on a public platform while under investigation. The audacity of this man is actually historic. And it makes me wonder, okay, if we are someone with such a lot of money, would we also turn like that and then become like Elon Musk? I don't know, only time will tell. All right. And finally, a story that's like little more niche, but I find it deeply poetic. Okay. Gentoo Linux and NetBSD, these are open source platforms. Okay. The people who basically built the foundation of internet. So these are the people because of whom you and I are having this conversation today. And guess what? They have officially banned AI generated code contributions because AI is flooding their platforms with low quality garbage code that does not work. The same slop problem we have in kind of like content creation, even code generation. And it's now very deeply in software development too. The engineers who built the internet are putting up no AI signs on their projects. When the builders themselves are rejecting AI outputs, that's a signal worth paying attention to. While on the other hand, these huge leaders in of these tech big tech companies, they mention that AI is gonna replace all software engineers, and software engineers should look for other jobs than apart from coding. So the internet is again conflicted. Again, I would like to know about your thoughts as well. So what do you think? Will AI replace you, or are you someone who's going to be staying ahead of this AI curve? Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's zoom out for a second. Okay, because all five of these stories today are telling us the same thing. AI is having its accountability moment, and nobody but governments, not companies, not users, is fully ready for it. Okay, and this is a moment that I would like to kind of take for myself to reiterate about the workshop that I'm hosting, how to become irreplaceable in your current role using AI. All right. So, in order to do that, there are links pinned in the chats or in chats and comments, and also it's all over in my bio. So, if you attend the workshop, I'll teach you exactly how you can use AI to kind of become irreplaceable or unfireable in your existing role instead of like switching to a new role. Okay, make sure you register, and then it's a free workshop. It's happening on March 22. It's a Sunday, so everything is lining up. Okay, so I'll see you there. Now, moving on. Let me get that up. Anthropic is being sued for principles. We address that. And Grok is being investigated for having none. AI therapists are gaslighting users with no consequences. Open source developers are rejecting AI contributions, and consumers are downloading Claude out of protest. This is what this is all the news that we saw until now. Okay, this is the messy middle of a technology that moved faster than the rules, faster than the laws, faster than the ethics itself. And right now, everyone is scrambling to catch up. So, where does that leave you? The person watching this show, trying to use AI in your work, trying to stay relevant, trying to figure out what's real and what's hype. That's exactly why we are here. As I mentioned, join my Irreplaceable OS workshop, and it's like completely free. It's a 1 hour session, and yeah, you are gonna love it. Okay, now, before we move to the actual part of the session where we are going to be building up on what we built yesterday, we did download Olama, host our own large language model locally, and also built our very small chatbot using it. So now, what we're going to do is basically, build applications on top of it. But before we move to that, remember tomorrow it's Nvidia GTC. It's just like 12 days away, and Jensen Huang has promised chips the world has never seen before. We're going to break down what that means for you and for the AI tools you use every single day. This we will do it tomorrow. Okay. Now, let's move to our anti-gravity, which is my favorite IDE. I've spoken about it in so many different live sessions, and nobody knows this, or many people, not many use this practically. Okay, you have this agent, manager over here, where you can kind of talk to your AI. You can choose different models from this, and unlike Claude Code or Claude Cowork, you won't hit the limits here. I have never hit a limit with anti-gravity. I'm on a free tire. Okay, I use the Gemini from a free tire. So just so you know, this is like, you never run out, is what is my point. So yes, as we were speaking, we did build this specific application, and then let me quickly launch it. So first I'll do Olama serve, which is already there. And the most amazing part is that you can kind of prompt agent of anti-gravity to do things for you. You will not write any commands. You can be this complete newbie in AI and still excel with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is run app.py, and also run Olama for. Okay, so this is a simple command. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to use fast mode here and not planning mode. Planning mode is basically used when you want to do deep research, or when you're building something from the scratch. You want anti-gravity to plan it before executing, so that's when you use planning mode. For now, I'm going to use fast modes because it's just going to run a simple couple of commands for us. So yes, now that's being generated. I would like to quickly go and check if you have any questions in any of these platforms. And while I'm doing that, if you have not yet registered for the workshop, it's for your own good. Please do register it. Okay, it's free and it's online. So what are you waiting for? Am I right? So I'm quickly checking if you have any questions across different channels. So if you do, please post them. Right, I'm searching for my live on LinkedIn. Apparently I couldn't find it. Okay, I did find it. Okay, so far no comments on LinkedIn. Awesome. So right now, what you can see on the screen is basically anti-gravity running based on the prompt that we have given it. Okay, so you can see here, it's running the command Olama serve, when we run it, we faced an issue because this specific port was already taken. All right, so which means we will not be able to. I mean, we'll eventually have to kill it. There is a separate command for it, but we are doing vibe coding here, right? So we need not go and Google or check Stack Overflow for that command. We can just simply ask our AI agent to run that. Okay, so it's running Olama serve and it's taking a little bit of more time. But before that, let's kind of like develop a use case as to what we are going to build today. Okay, so as we spoke about it yesterday, we built this chatbot based on Olama. So we used our already pulled in model to kind of chat with it so that without even internet connection, the model would work. Okay, so that's what we did yesterday. Today we're going to do something more different. Let's say I want to integrate a couple of tools with it, or I want to build an application that I can use every day. So one thing that is like very very required, very on demand for me, is to stay on top of AI news. Okay, so what we will do now is basically integrate a web search tool within this application, and also what this tool should do is basically look across the internet and give me key news based on AI. All right. So these news should be very interesting and also should keep me up to date on everything that's happening in AI globally. Okay. Yeah, this sounds like a very good use case, and it can be useful for anybody who's like trying to stay on top of the everything that's AI is supposed to be to offer, right? So why it's still running? um, I mean, probably because we did face this error, and probably anti-gravity also faced this error, so it's killing the process in the meantime. So what we can do right now is basically, while this is running, we can make use of this agent manager. So basically, we can open multiple conversation with the same agent, and it'll run in parallel. Okay, that's another amazing use case of anti-gravity. So I'm just opening this agent manager and zooming in a bit so that you can understand and see, right? So here I am starting a new conversation, and I'm not going to use the playground. Nope. So this is the conversation we are currently having with our agent. Okay, now what we're going to do is basically start a new conversation. So not in AG, we are starting it in Olama setup guide. Okay, so here we will describe exactly what I told you. Okay, you can either type in what tool you want to use, or you can just like give a voice command. All right. Hey, I want a deep research tool which searches across the internet and brings in everything that's about AI. Okay, it should include AI models that's been launched, different AI tools, and everything that's happening in AI today for the past 24 hours. I need a recap of it all every day, once every day, at around 7 p.m. IST. Okay, so this is what you're supposed to do: search the internet and get it for me in the form of the output should be in the form of a markdown file so that I can do whatever I want with it. Ask me any questions if you have any doubts. Otherwise, you can proceed with the planning. So yeah, so this is the voice prompt that I'm giving my agent, and when I click on send, it understands my prompt that I just gave anti-gravity's agent, and it has already initiated the task execution. So it's planning what needs to be done and so on. If you expand it, you can actually see its whole thinking. Okay, now let's go check on what's happening with our Olama. It's still running, which means there is some kind of an error at the back end. So let's abort this and do run the app.py. just app.py is enough, I guess. All right. Um, okay, I we seem to have lost we seem to have lost the conversation that we were just having. Hmm. Oh, agent terminated due to an error. Okay, we just give retry. Sometimes it happens. Anti-gravity is a little bit buggy in that sense. Okay, um, so this is being generating, and let's see if we have that conversation ready. Oh, okay. Looks like the conversation is gone. Probably did not get saved or something. Cool. No worries. Let's start a new conversation in the same thing. And I'm going to repeat my prompt now. Hey, build a deep research AI agentic tool for me. Use the Olama setup for it, but integrate web search to it and get me AI news across the globe, so that I am fully on top of the AI news that's happening. This include the new models that has been dropped, any disputes, any conflicts between the AI players, and anything interesting that's happening in the AI space across the world. Do it once a day at a specific time. Give the output in the form of a markdown file. Okay, so this is my prompt, and now I'm gonna send it, and I'm gonna be quiet. Oh, we have all four, but then for some reason it's not getting displayed. That's weird. Okay, now while this prompt is running, again, agent has terminated due to an error. The app did uh, get opened up, okay, and it moved to another window. Let me pull that right up. Um, what? I accidentally closed it. That's amazing. Okay, so now okay, this is planning, and then it's whatever prompt that we've just given it, so it is planning an AI news agent. Okay, we have this implementation plan with the tasks that it has written down for itself. We can kind of, oh, it is advancing towards a solution and creating the specific task. Okay, so this is the implementation plan that the agent has in itself for it. So for the search tool, it's going to use DuckDuckGo search, which is again an open source free API that can be used for web searching. And large language model, it's going to use my local Olama setup, and then scheduling. There is a scheduling script which you will use this schedule library of Python, and we will run it to configure once daily at a specific time and run continuously in the background. Okay, so for the existing code, it's gonna add these dependency layers, and it's gonna create this new script, AI news agent.py. And also this script, whatever the functionalities we just spoke, it will be in it. And in order to verify, it's like it has written down its own evaluation step as to, if the agent has run and given us the required output. And again, manual verification is also required so that, you know, we don't miss it. So human in the loop is always needed. And I just like click on this proceed so that it proceeds with the implementation plan. Okay, so it's gonna complete each of the tasks that it has written down for itself. Okay, let me open the task list if there are any. Okay, then while this is being edited, I'm gonna open. So, oops. So as you can see, it is running all the commands. It's installing all the software that's required, and yeah, that's practically what it has done so far. It has installed the DuckDuckGo search library, and also the Olama library, the schedule library from Python, and so on. And it's also given me some error as to what some kind of an upgrading needs to be done. But if you let it, the agent would upgrade it for you, like on its own. So this is how cool anti-gravity is. And totally, this is not a sponsored video, but I believe Google has to sponsor me because I talk about anti-gravity more than them. That's practically true because, if you go onto YouTube and check anti-gravity's YouTube channel, okay, um, what you will find would kind of like amuse you because let me show it to you. Um, wait a sec. Yeah. So this is once again. So this is basically. Oops, yeah. So this is basically anti-gravity's YouTube channel. Okay. As you can see, the amount of videos that they have versus the amount of videos that I have for talking about anti-gravity, it's far more. Okay. So Google, anybody from Google, if you're listening to this, you can sponsor me. I don't mind. All right. Oh, what did I do? Okay. So now, what we're gonna do is basically get anti-gravity for us. And yeah, it's still thinking, it's installing, and oh, it has done a couple of more. So it has created this AI news agent .python file, which is great. And it's testing the script to generate today's markdown report using DuckDuckGo and Olama. Oh, it says no news found, unable to generate report. And so it has gone ahead and then it starts fixing the DuckDuckGo search library dependency and code usage. Okay, so again, it's importing a couple of functions from the library and it's checking, retesting, and now no news found again. That's sad, but now I guess something worked. So it has run this command that it has invoked this specific function for AI model releases and just AI model releases, and you get a couple of results. So it has figured out a way to get results out of that specific library. Now again, it's running in test mode, and it is renaming the search into DDGS. Okay, that's all internally. That's what it's using. Since Llama 3.2 is the model that's running, it's making use of it to generate the report. Okay, and I guess in a couple of minutes or seconds, we should have our AI news report set up and running, right? So while that is doing that, let me quickly bring this window to my other screen, because let's face it, I don't know how it went there. Okay, so where did anti-gravity go? Okay, so it has checked the command status, verifying the output report, and it edited its own the tasks that it has generated for itself. It's also kind of analyzed a couple of stuff for us, and it's examining the generated markdown to ensure quality of the task. Okay, and it always creates a walkthrough. Okay, and I don't think any other vibe coding tool out there does this because you practically gave a prompt and it gave you this whole application, right? But now, how do you kind of understand it, or let's say you want to explain it to somebody? It gives you this walkthrough file and gives you what all features were implemented, and it also tells you how you can run it at the background as a scheduler. And if you want to run it once to test it immediately, you can use this command. And the example output would be something like this. Okay, so this is practically a mind-blowing and amazing functionality in here, right? So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to immediately test it. So I'm going to go back to my editor, and this is my, as you can see, we just had app.py, but the agent in itself created these two additional files. So this is a news that it has fetched. Let's take a quick look at it. Let me minimize this. Oops, minimize this. So as you can see, this is a daily AI news report for this date, and new model releases updates are Anthropic releases Claude Sonnet 4.6. Ah, okay, that's, I don't know, isn't it old news? Let's check. But yeah, I think 4.6 was recently, but Optus was ready. Let me check. We'll check it after that. But it has given me source as well, which is 17th February. Okay, we have to do something about that. And Nano Banana 2, yes, that was released very recently. And Zhipu leads rally in a Chinese AI stocks. Yeah, that's a recent news. We also have industry news and funding, multiverse computing launches, blah blah blah. Oh, it has worked pretty well, I should say, right? Department of Justice creates task force to challenge state AI regulations. All good, important, interesting news. Awesome. So with just a matter of time, it has done it. And if you're someone who doesn't want to look at this terminal, this black and white coding screen at all times, what we can do is basically ask the agent to add a front end, where you can invoke this news whenever you want. Okay. And add more functionalities like displaying the weather, um, different time zones. If you're someone who works with people across different time zones, you can add that. And also, what else? What else can we add? Little help here, guys. You all have been very quiet since the beginning. So let me go around and check. Okay, before that, let me just complete this prompt. So in addition to generating AI news, we also have additional functionalities like displaying the weather in the local region. I'll add in the local region, different time zones, and what else? Add a front end where I can generate the news whenever I want. Okay, so this is what it's gonna do, and I'm gonna run it in planning mode because these are a couple of new features that we're building. Okay, so now I'll go around and check if we have any questions or comments with respect to this. Okay. Oh, I see a couple of reactions. That's pretty good. But otherwise, okay, no questions. Quiet room today. That's all right. Yep, that's totally fine. Let me go back to anti-gravity. As you can see, it is preparing a plan. Okay, it's planning front-end enhancements. It is analyzing the new AI news agent it just created, and it's also implementing some kind of a feature integration, requesting user feedback. Is it going to be asking me some kind of feedback? Oh, okay. It has again created an implementation plan and a task list for itself. So this is what the task list looks like for the AI agent. It has created it for itself. Let me 1 second. Okay, open it. I'm gonna accept all. I'm gonna move up so that I can show you the task list. So this is a simple checklist which the agent has created for itself. So it has completed these 2 tasks and it still needs to kind of implement all of these things. Okay, and this is what is the implementation plan. It's telling me basically how it's going to implement all of those things. So you should always read the implementation plan and then click on proceed. Okay, now it's going to implement the task list. All right, let's open the task list so that we can see it live, that as and when a completed task is being checked. Okay, So what it's doing right now, it's adding tabs to app.py so that the chat is moved to a specific tab. News generation is another tab, and implement weather and time zones in tab 3. And it also will kind of verify the news generation functionality and also test whether the weather and time zones are rendering properly. Pretty amazing, right? Yeah, it's super amazing. Anyways, it's running all of these things. You hit a warning, don't worry about it. It will fix itself on its own. Otherwise, it will give us a detailed issue as to what's happening, and it will provide the same fix as well, which it will fix itself. Unless you are supposed to uninstall anti-gravity, everything else can be done using anti-gravity's agent itself. You need not write even a single line of code. Okay, and it's all for free. So again, I'm so I don't know, I'm so confused as to why not many people are using anti-gravity. All right, so as you can see, it has checked all of these different tasks. It has added these tabs, and now currently it's, I guess it's verifying the functionality. Okay, and based on that, it is editing a couple of stuff, and it's also verifying the application logs to verify the Streamlit app reloaded without errors, and preparing the walkthrough document. Okay, thinking as to if everything is in place. Yes, we have the walkthrough document now, and as always, this is an amazing piece of document to have, because how else are you gonna explain the code that was written by an AI, what all has happened? Okay, so yes, so your tab 1, tab 2, tab 3 descriptions are given here, and what was tested, the validation results, and everything is there. So you can see the changes reflected in my local host. So I'm just, oh, it has opened in a different tab, but I'm gonna bring it to this window. Before that, I'm gonna press F3 and bring it here. So as you can see, this is the AI multi-tool hub. It has named itself AI multi-tool hub. We have the chat interface where you can pick a specific model and chat with it. There is this AI news generator. So let's test that. I'm going to click generate AI news now, and it's fetching latest AI news from the web. Let's also test it has already found 20 unique news articles. That's amazing, and it's synthesizing a report using the local AI. So within a matter of minutes, we were able to build this front end with three functionalities: one for chatting, one for whatever news is happening across the globe. It will search the web and bring it for us, and also the other one, weather. Okay, so we have the daily AI newsletter. Unfortunately, it is assuming that now today's date is February 26, 2026. We have to do something about that. All right. So we'll prompt back probably. The best approach is to basically take a screenshot and then go back to anti-gravity and go back to this chat window. We are in the agent manager. Awesome. So just upload the screenshot that you just basically, and mention, hey, the date is all wrong. It shows Feb 26, while today is March 4th. March 4th, right? Yeah. So I'll let the agent do the planning. Meanwhile, let's go back to our application and check the weather and time. Weather data unavailable, and because location is unknown. But it has given me global time zones though. So in New York, it's 4th March morning 10. London, it's around in the afternoon. Tokyo, it's in the evening. And this is amazing. Huh. This is pretty. Oh, this is fifth. What is the time in Japan right now? Is it like, oh, it's like 12:18. This is in minutes. Oh, I got super confused. I thought it was at evening. Okay. And India, that seems about right. It's 8:48, 8:50 approximately. Cool. So now the weather data is also unknown because location is unknown. So what we're going to do is go back to our anti-gravity. Oh, it is asked. It is edited AI news agent, and model likely got confused by the dates of some of the older news articles that Dr. Ko returned. One of them was from February 26. So it just assumed that the date of the newsletter. I've just updated the script, explicitly calculate today's date, and injected directly into the prompt, instructing the model to use it as the title. Oh, okay, that's nice. Nice. Okay, so we'll run all the entire script again. We also have another problem. So this is another error I get. So now again, the agent will look through the code base and identify what the issue is. Probably, in order to get the weather data, you need to use a specific weather API. Let's see if the agent is also mentioning the same thing, because we have not used any API here. It is analyzing our main application app.py, and it's adding a lookup fallback implementation. Oh, it's like, okay, I guess the API is there, but then the location is missing. So that's why it cannot get the weather. So it has added a functionality to get the IP, and if not, it has added a backup IP as well. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's see if things are good. So we can always rerun if the code has changes. Awesome. So we have the local weather. Location is Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and this is the temperature, wind speed. It feels like 30 degrees. Yeah, it definitely does. Let's also test our news generator, shall we? So it is fetching all the latest news from the web. Let's see if it's getting the date right. Okay, it again found 20 unique news articles. Fantastic. So let's see if it's got the date, today's date right. Okay, you're doing pretty good, I guess. So, all right. Oh, yeah, awesome. So it has got the date as well right, and then all the different news are up to date too, I guess. Awesome. So now we have built this amazing new app, and it's time for you to build it on your own as well. Identify any use case you want, and basically, prompt your anti-gravity, and it would build it for you. All right. Now we've almost reached the end of this whole session. Okay, so yeah, I think I had a very good time. What about you? Did you have fun? Did you enjoy this session? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback as always. All right. So, and yeah, a couple of announcements again. I'm running a free workshop which will help you to become irreplaceable in your current role. So do check it out, scan the QR code, or simply you know, simply like check any of my socials. There will be a link, or check my website, the rtaicollective.com/slash irresponsible OS or slash workshop. Just visit the rtaicollective.com, and you will eventually find it because there's a huge banner that's popping up. Okay, awesome. I am also gonna reiterate on the AI Sisterhood podcast that I'm launching this Saturday. So stay tuned. Tune in on Saturday to watch this amazing podcast. This first speaker she's like this amazing individual. So I'm not gonna give much away of who she is. I'm gonna drop the announcement of the speaker tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned on all of these platforms so that you be the first one to know about who the speaker is, and what we're going to talk about, and just stay tuned for the AI Sisterhood podcast. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in for today's episode. As always, we'll have much fun and even more AI news in tomorrow's episode. All right, stay tuned and I'll see you later.